Hey guys, you're welcome to the channel for another simple and interesting video. So this is a dress we'll be making today. This is a stylish pinafore dress that has a buttonhole on the back band area that you can lace the belts through the buttonhole. And if this is the first time you are checking up on this channel, my name is Lillian and I share sewing content around kids clothing and hair accessories. So consider subscribing and join the family for tutorials like this, and do not forget to turn on your bell icon so that whenever I post a new video you'll be notified immediately. So this is what we'll be making. As you can see, I have buttonhole on the band area, and you can take your belt through that buttonhole, and my inside is neatly finished. As you can see, my inside is neatly finished with my lining. So let's go into it. So for my bib part, this is the back area, the back band. I have 5 inches by 13 inches. 5 inches is the width, the length is 13 inches. On fold, it is 2.5 inches by 13 inches. So for the front, I have a length of 14 inches by 13 inches. So if I fold over, unfold, it will be 7 inches by 13 inches. So to get the length of the bib, I am taking away 3 inches. You can take away 3 to 4 inches, from 2 to 4 inches as the length, and my half length is 9 inches. That is what I just marked, plus my 1 inch for my joining allowance to the skirt part. And for the width, to my waist circumference, I just added 4 inches to it, so as to let the child's hip pass through it. Or you can just use your hip measurement. You can as well add up to 10 inches to your waist measurement, because this will not be having a zipper. In my subsequent video, I will do a pinafore dress that has a zipper, but this is an elastic back pinafore dress. So I added 4 inches extra to my waist measurement. You can add up to 10 inches depending on how squeezy you want the back to be. Like I said, my bandwidth will be 2.5 inches, so I have it on fold for the back 5 inches. So for the front, I will just add extra half an inch and mark 3 inches. I've folded this fabric into two. I folded it. It was for 13 inches before, but now I just folded it into two. So I just marked it, and for the width of the upper part, the shoulder width is 9 inches, so I will take away 2 inches from it, and I will end up having 7 inches. So I will divide this 7 inches into 2, that is 3.5 inches, and I will mark it on the upper part of the bib. You can cut this bib together with the band, just like as I'm cutting it, or you can just take away your band and later add it back. So I just decided to cut it together. So I just marked the 3.5 at the upper part and at the band area, and I'll just rule into a straight line. I will just give it a slight curve. You can as well leave it that square shape that it has, but I just want to create it just like an armhole. It will not really reach the armhole, but just to give it that slight curve, and I will cut it off. So like I said, if you are making an elastic waist dress, you don't use your waist measurement because it has to pass through the hip, so you give extra fabric to the initial waist measurement. So this is what I have, and it is on fold. The up part is closed. I'll just go ahead and sew with half an inch from the areas I'm marking. I'll sew it and turn it inside out. Make sure you notch before turning. So for my band, I'll place it wrong side, and mark half an inch from the down. For the front part, I placed it right side on right side, but for this back part, I'm just placing it wrong side on wrong side, and I'll sew that half an inch. I just want to create my elastic casing. So for the ruffles, I will be having on the shoulder, the one that will run through from the front length to the back body's length. I have the width of 4.5 and a length of about 37 inches. So you can do up to 40 inches as well. 4.5 inches by 37 inches, that is what I have there. So, and I have it into two. I'll just place them on each other and fold over like so. and give one end, the open end, a slight curve. I don't want to leave it that square, so I'll just give it a slight curve and cut it out. After cutting it out, I'll just go and hem the down part. I'll roll hem it. So you can see that slight curve. I'll roll hem it from one end to the other. This is for the two sleeves. So for my skirt parts, I folded my fabric. I cut out a width of 45 inches in width and 45 inches in length. That's 1 1/4. So I will show you what I did with the paper here. For the skirt part, I multiply the waist circumference by 2. You can as well go up to 3, depending on the amount of fabric you have and how full you want it. So I'm cutting a circle. 22 is my waist circumference, multiplied by 2 is 44. Then I'll divide that 44 by the formula of a full circle, which is 6.28, and I'll end up with 7.00 something. I just rounded it up to 7.0. So that will be my radius. For my skirt length, I'll be working with a skirt length of 15 inches. Remember, my full length is 15 inches plus my upper length of 9 inches. So my fabric to put on fold is this 15 inches plus my radius of 7 inches. And the fabric that I'll be putting on fold is 22 inches on fold. When it is not on fold, it will be 44 inches, right? So I will demonstrate how I'll fold it with this paper. Assuming this is my paper, from here to the middle is 22 inches and from the other middle to the end is 22 inches. I'll fold it like so and fold into 4. So all the sides are 22 inches. All the sides are 22 inches. I'll have a square of 22 inches, and from the folded end I will mark my waist radius of 7 inches, and I will also mark my skirt length of 15 inches. 15 plus 7 is 22 inches. So you can as well add 1 inch so that you not be at risk of shortage of fabric. So that was why I folded my fabric. I cut out my fabric 45 inches by 45 inches. So like I said, I folded this fabric like so for my lining and for my African print. Anyways, I'm using an African print. This material doesn't really look like an African print, but it is an African print. And I've marked what I just demonstrated on this paper on my lining part. The first line was my radius of 7 inches. The second was my skirt length of 15 inches, and I'll cut through those lines. So when I cut through it, I'll separate it. Assuming I'm having the same length for the skirt and for the African print, I will reduce my lining by either 1 or 2 inches. But I'll just go and hem this lining with 1 inch. Then for the African print, I'll take the measurement from this end to the other end, and I'll be having about 36 inches, which is 1 yard. Remember, this fabric is on 4 folds, so I'll be having 4 yards for the down part. To get the fabric to attach the frill that I'll be attaching it to it, so this is 4 yards, I will multiply it by 2. I'll cut out my strip of fabric of 8 yards. So I've already cut it out, and the length is the width is 5 inches. The width is 8 yards, then the length is 5 inches. I will hem the down part with half an inch, then attach it to the skirt part with half an inch. After sewing, it will be 4 inches. So here I've sewn my bib part. My front bib is together with my band. Then I've also sewn my back waistband. For my elastic band, I cut out 7 inches. I just removed 3 inches from half of my waist circumference. And if you notice, this elastic is 1 inch and I have a band that is higher than 1 inch. So I just join it together slightly. I place it on each other, and slightly with my machine I join them together, and I'll get the midpoint of this band and mark 0.75 away from both sides to create my buttonhole, and I'll pass my elastic through the band, making sure that the other end is not slipping in. This hack of joining your 1 inch elastic band together to just get a higher width is good, but I have one problem with it. It doesn't allow the elastic to stretch to its limits. It limits this elasticity because the thread that you are joining it with is not elastic thread, so you don't expect that thread to stretch more than it should. So I've not tried it with an elastic thread. Maybe you can try that. So for my this is a crepe fabric that I'll be using to hold my ruffle. I have more than 40 inches here, but I'll be using a length of 40 inches and the width is 4 inches. So I'll just demonstrate what I'll be doing. I iron and interfacing a fabric interfacing to it because this fabric is light. If yours is thick, you don't need to do that. So I just folded this fabric to be accommodated on this camera angle so that I'll show you what I want to do. So I'll be marking my front length of 9 inches on both fabric, on both strip of fabric. As you can see, it's on fold, so I have it on fold. That's the front and the back. Then my belt length, a normal belt should not be more than 22 inches, so I just add 22 inches to it. So I'll just close up one side and I'll cut off the other one that is under because I will not be needing it. So from these two angles I'm holding is where I'll cut off from. I'll cut off from this place I'm marking. So I'll bring my ruffle. When I must have ruffled this, gathered this, I will attach it from this point that I needed to the other point. Then I'll cut off. This is where I will stop. This is where the back length stops, but I will not be taking it all the way to my back length. I will stop like 5 inches before my back length and I'll cut the remaining one off. Here I have stitched my elastic to the waistband and I've created a buttonhole on the two lines I marked. So to join the front band to the back band, you just open up like so, and match, open up the front one, match right side facing each other and close with the other one. So you are just sandwiching the back band in between the front band and you sew. I will turn it over to the other side, open it up and close it with the front part as well. I will do a video on how to make a pinafore dress with a zipper. It's the same process, only that the back band will be into two, it will not be on fold. So I've cut off the excess of this strip. I have 40 inches here, so this is what I'll be doing. 40 inches and I folded it into two and I folded half an inch inside for the both of them. So I will take away 1 inch for my joining allowance. I'll be joining with half an inch, but I don't just want to take exact half an inch so that I will not be at risk. And I'll take away my front length of 9 inches. From the shoulder to the waist area of the child is 9 inches. But on this bib, we did not take 9 inches because we minus some 3 inches. But on the strip of fabric, I'll be taking the full shoulder, from shoulder to waist measurement. I will take it 9 inches for the front and 9 inches for the back. So the ruffle will run from the front bodies to the back bodies, but I will just stop before the back bodies, 5 to 4 inches before it. This is what I have here, and I'll pass my ruffle in between and I'll stitch it all the way to the end. I have already stitched that, leaving only the place that the ruffle will pass. I just hope you are getting what I am saying. So after pinning it down, I'll just take to my machine and sew it. I had already measured it, so this ruffle now is from the front waistline through to the shoulder and to the back waistline. So this is how I will attach it, and I will run my stitches and to that folded end as well, I will run my stitches through it. So, and also after that, I've done prepared my skirt part. I've added my ruffles to it, and I'll gather the waist part to fit in the waist part of the upper bodies, and I'll join it. Also, I will join my lining. I've hemmed my lining, and I will join it. As you can see, the lining is shorter because we had an extension on the African print, so I will join it as well. So this is me after attaching the ruffle to the shoulder, and on that middle line there was actually no need running the stitch from this end to the other end because it is on fold, but because I want to have a uniform look, I will run my stitch from this place through to the end so that all of them will have stitches on them. And I've created my buttonhole. Like I said, you can pass your belt through the buttonhole, and I'll go ahead and attach my skirt and my lining, and I'll come back to show you what it looks like. As you can see, that elastic is not that stretchy because I have already run a stitch in between. It will not allow it to stretch to its fullest. That's one of the restraint of using this hack of joining elastic together. So after joining my skirt part with the ankara with the upper bodies, my lining, I'll just match right side together on the band from the inside just to get a neat finishing. And after that, after sewing all around, when I flip it, this is how it will look like. And I've finished doing that. From I made my stitches from the inside, and when I flip over, this is what I have. The inside is neatly finished, everything is concealed. Even if you are using a zipper, this is how it should be. My next tutorial I will do that. So my buttonhole, I have opened it and I can pass my belt through it. So I want to thank you if you've watched up to this point. This is the result of what we just made, and if you've not subscribed, kindly hit on the subscribe button, and please turn on your notification bell on so that you always get a notification about my uploads. Thank you for watching up to this point. Like I said, also share, like, and comment. Your comment has a way of pushing us to do better than we even have in mind. Thank you, and do not forget to continually check on the channel, invite people you know that need this tutorial, and this is how we'll be bringing it to an end on this episode. See you in other of my videos. Thank you and bye.